Hello, hello, hello. Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to The Link. We are a
Yes.
connection between Pyro Media and APLA Health with funding by the CDC. And we have a special holiday edition. As you can see, we're all real comfy, real relaxed, because we wanted to make it look like we just woke up. It's Christmas morning, there's presents under the tree. We've got our hot tea and our coffee sitting there looking at everyone get the gifts that we gave them, acting like we didn't get them. Maybe you're
Because
enjoying
I definitely wake up like this. I
Right.
want the public to know for continuity purposes,
And
I
right,
do
not
wake
Kai
up in
telling
full
on
hair and makeup.
us, saying don't making it look like no Kai, we really did just wake up.
We did. Really, how was that?
so
Actually
today.
about to go back to sleep, actually.
Oh,
That one.
so today's topic is about the holiday seasons, the classic coming out of the closet. Should we come out? Should we keep that door locked? But we'll get into that later. First, let's talk about our favorite holiday things to do. So normally during What's Poppin', we talk about pop culture, but I'm tired of talking about celebrities. Let's talk about us. Let's have people talk about us because I love talking about me. But I would love to hear what everyone's favorite holiday memories are. So whether it is, when you were a child, whether you're an adult, go for it. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I know specifically with holidays in my upbringing, we didn't really do many holidays. I mean, my grandmom and my mom made an effort to make sure that we were all together in the holidays. But the one thing that I genuinely like, people will say, "Oh, when you're a kid, you get presents and all that other stuff." Nah, not me. The one thing that I genuinely appreciated was my grandmother's cooking every single holiday. It would be like we would just come off of Thanksgiving, and then just a couple more weeks, and she would make another big meal, very reminiscent of Thanksgiving. So the fat boy in me was like, I'm looking forward to the meal, not the chitlins. I don't like the smell of that. But other than that, everything else was the big thing for me. I used to rush downstairs, and my grandma would be like, you look like you're hungry. You want to help me out? And I'd be like, nah, I just wanted to know if it was done.
Yes. I don't want to help. I just want to eat. Yes. Yeah, I think for me, food has.
I'll go. I'll go.
Oh no,
Go
I was
ahead,
just saying.
Kat.
No, go ahead, Daniel. I was just agreeing.
I think for me, I grew up. I did not grow up with necessarily, family traditions for the holidays, but I definitely feel like one of the things that I have always done is I love waking up on Christmas Day um, with the smell of like just wonderful food, getting in my PJs, my onesie, and watching Christmas movies all day and eating whatever it is that I want. Year Without a Santa Claus is the best holiday movie ever.
Yes.
And now we have Jingle Jangle on Netflix, so I'll be watching that again this Christmas. But that's my kind of like favorite thing to do, specifically on Christmas Day, is just be in my PJs all day, eat whatever I want, and just flood my eyes with Christmas movies.
Yes. Rogelio, what about you?
I think for me, I feel like the way that Mexican people celebrate it typically is like we stay up till midnight on New Year's Eve, and then at midnight we open the presents, and it's this huge like countdown, very similar to New Year's. So those are some of the best memories for me because I have a very big extended family. And so it was always like, 30 or more people getting together in one place and, just all this food. And it was always the fun of being a kid and like having the challenge of having to stay up till 12 to, open your presents, where like now staying up till 12 is like, a Tuesday for anybody, you know? So I think that those are the memories that I miss most. Just like growing up with all my cousins, like after a while with family drama and just a lot of things change. So we never get like together like the entire family anymore. So just, those memories of having food and huge family gatherings are definitely what, the best memories I have of the holidays.
Come on, best memories. So yeah, mine kind of echoes a little bit. Oh, hey, look at this hat.
Come on.
That is adorable.
It's very jingle dangle versus jingle
Yes.
jangle. Come on.
This is good stuff. But for me, holidays, like Ty and Daniel, for me, my family didn't do a lot of big holiday celebrations. We just weren't those people for us. But one thing that we did, and this is specific to kind of where I grew up my last like high school years in Tucson, Arizona, there is this neighborhood called Winter Haven, where basically in order to live in this neighborhood, you have to commit to doing like big, spectacular Christmas lights. It's completely free to the public, and you can just kind of walk through this neighborhood. Keep in mind, this is Tucson, Arizona in December, so it's really not that cold. But we pretended, we put on our big coats. You can get like your little hot chocolate and walk around. You can have a little date or whatever. But for me, I always enjoyed it because it's one of those things where you get to just walk by and see like beautiful lights, holiday music, anything like that. And obviously, with my dad being a black man, he's always said, "Ooh, I know their electric bills are high," and I'm sure they were. It was true. But for me, that was always a big thing that we did. And Earth, Wind, and Fire Christmas album that was played every single year from, yeah, I know, from the time I was born on until like even now, I still put it on. That's what Christmas sounds like to me, or that's what the holidays sound like to me. And we know other people celebrate, Hanukkah, which started earlier this month in December, but there's a lot of different holiday things. So for me, it's always not so much about the gifts and actual Christmas Day, but it's kind of that, what I get to do. So I love seeing Christmas lights. I absolutely love them. I will never hang them up myself, but I love looking at other people. So if you have Christmas lights and you, especially now during COVID, that's such a great Christmas thing to do because you can stay in your car if you have one and you can kind of just drive around. So that's what I like to do. Those were always my things. But here's a question I have for everyone. What was your favorite holiday gift? I know this is a big question, but if you could think about what was the best gift you ever got for Christmas?
That is a good question.
Well, while we think about it, I need to go back to Kai's. What was the
Mhm.
name of that town that you was going to see lights in?
It's called Winter Haven. So it's just a neighborhood in Tucson, Arizona. It's part of like their homeowners association. Like that
Child,
they do it
that
every year.
Winter Haven sounds like some city that you would get in a Run for Death video game or Resident Evil video game. I
Really?
was like,
When he had said it,
yes,
I felt like you had to go to Winter Haven to get the ice badge in Pokemon.
Oh, come on.
it sounds like, or like a city, a place in Harry Potter. Winter
Yeah.
Haven.
You know what? Actually, while we've been having this conversation, I definitely think that my favorite gifts of all time has been my collections of robes. Now that I'm sitting here in one and I'm talking to y'all, I'm like, I really appreciate these things. You guys have all been to my home. I own about maybe 15 robes. So every time Christmas comes around, I get a new robe. So that's probably my favorite gift of all time, just because it's easy to lounge in. It's the holiday. You don't really want to wear anything under it. I'm not wearing anything under this one now. So it's like, you want to be able to be comfortable. You can't hang
Always a
lights in
thirst
it because
trap.
then, listen, you can't hang
Always
lights
a
in it because
thirst
then
trap.
stuff falls out. But other than that, I really
You
enjoy
know,
my robes. I do. Those are my favorite gifts.
get on my nerve.
Just saying.
I feel like for me, my favorite gift that I ever got, which even now looking back on it, I really didn't use it a lot, but I think it was the first time I remember getting like a large Christmas present where I was just like,
Mhm.
wow. And I was probably like 7 or 8. And my dad got me or Santa, whoever you want to. Parents out there, if you get your kids something really expensive, don't say it was from Santa. Say it was from you. Let them know that you spent that money on that.
Absolutely. Don't you give that white
You
man
could
any
guilt
credit
them
for that
about it.
gift.
Yeah, that part. But for me, it was a drum set. I had never once
Ooh.
put any kind of interest in like, oh, I want to be a drummer, but for some reason I got like this full-size drum set. I probably used it twice, but for some reason for me, whenever I think of like the best Christmas gift, I just remember waking up, going to the living room and seeing this huge ass like drum set. I mean, it was huge for like an 8-year-old, but it was probably a miniature drum set that you got from like Walmart or whatever. But I thought it was the bee's knees, the best thing ever. I banged on it for a good 10, 15 minutes, never played it again, but it was worth it, you know?
I have a few men that I feel that way about.
Yeah, that part.
Banged on it twice and then never went back to it again. I think
There you go. You had it.
this might seem a little sappy, but I think my favorite gift, Christmas gift, has really been the gift of family. Anytime that I'm around people that I love on Christmas, it really does warm my heart because I have such a large family. But I also have a lot of blood relatives that I'm not close to, and I have a lot of bond relatives, people that I have chosen to be in my family that I am very, very close to. So for me, it's always just that gift of family, that gift of fellowship and love. That has always been the best gift for me. Now, if I had to bring it into a physical thing, I think the most memorable gift was my very first Walkman, for which I purchased my very own tape with my own money, and it was the Mariah Carey Butterfly album.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That was the
She
one
put
was
that thing in.
memorable.
She rewound it. She pressed play.
Honey,
She rewound it. She pressed play.
Wow.
Someone for the Walkman.
Right.
breakdown. Yeah, still in the museum. That album lives in my spirit at all times. It has free rent in my soul. The
Yeah.
whole album.
In my family, Christmas was kind of like the only time we ever got any big gifts, you know? So like if you ever wanted anything, you knew only to ask for it on Christmas or on your birthday. And my birthday is only, you know, a little more than 3 weeks before Christmas. So often it was lumped together and said like, you know, oh, well, you know, we're just going to get you something really good for Christmas. So my parents always went like pretty all out. Like, you know, they always went all out with Christmas specifically. So I have a lot of like, you know, growing up, I got a lot of things that I basically wanted and, you know, that was all good. But I think my favorite was probably when I was like, it must have been my second or third year in college. And at that point, you know, I wasn't telling my mom what I wanted every year because, you know, I was grown. So like, I was just kind of letting her get me, you know, whatever she wanted. And it was always, you know, something usually pretty small. But then she got me AirPods, which I know is a pretty superficial thing, but like, I didn't even
They're
ask
really
for
cool,
it.
though.
No, yeah, they are cool. And I might not even
Mhm.
work anymore because I was wearing them while washing my face, my dumbass. But like, but I think that like the thought was so good because like she knows that I was like super into like my iPhone and all that stuff and like I'm always listening to stuff, but like I never had to ask for it. And the fact that she just like came up with it on her own, like I didn't even know that she knew what AirPods were, but I was like, oh wow, like she's still paying attention. That's so cute.
Oh, love it.
That's cute.
That is funny and cute.
I always feel like sometimes the gifts that I enjoy the most are the ones that I don't ask for. Because you know, you ask for it and you get it, and you're like, "Yay, I got it!" But then someone will throw something in, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't know I wanted this. Thank you."
Yeah.
I think those are always the most exciting. But I do like kind of Daniel saying, family. I think is really, really what kind of sets the holiday season apart. As you get older, like as a child, you don't care. You don't realize that that's what's really the exciting
And
part.
speaking of getting older, Kai, you're this way. Sorry. Speaking of getting older, Kai, I think that we all will agree as adults, right? As adults, we appreciate the time off. I get so excited for being able to just sit on my couch and watch mindless daytime TV without having to worry about anything in regards to work. Now, we all love what we do, but I think as we get older, we all appreciate the time off that we get. So definitely something to be laying on the couch and everybody sending Merry Christmas text messages. And I'm sitting there with my spiked eggnog, like, girl, girl, you too.
Honey,
Yeah.
adulting is hard, and I
It is.
definitely,
It's
I wish I
tiresome.
would
It's
have
expensive.
appreciated the lack of adulting that I had to do as a kid more. I wish somebody would have really made me understand, like, when you become this, you
Listen,
gonna
Right.
appreciate having nothing to do.
you all remember wishing that you were a lot older than what you were, and then you finally get to it, and you're like, well, this sucks.
Right.
I don't like this anymore. How do I return it?
Right? What
I
are
have a
bills? What
question
are
for
bills?
I have a question for everybody because I know we think about the holidays, we get all the warm and fuzzies, but if you anything like my family, honey, you know it's always some drama. It's always some
Oh,
ghetto, some during the holiday season that popped off. What is the most dramatic Christmas memory that you can remember having?
Girl.
oh
I
gosh.
mean, my Christmas like ended up being split up because of drama because basically my aunt and their family had gotten a nice house. Like they had been used to like you know, apartments or small places that they rented, but they finally were able to, like, you know, establish a really nice home. So they were like, oh, we want to change the tradition that we've been having the past, you know, however many years, and host Christmas this year anyway, even though like it had always been established that this one aunt would host it and we would all come together. So then it just kind of split the whole family in half. So like half the family would go to her house and then the other half would be there. And then there were some other things that happened when I was in middle school that just like solidified that split even more with somebody, you know, accidentally finding out that, you know, maybe her father isn't, you know, biologically hers, you know, and it may or may not have
We
been
had one of
my
those
fault
moments in my family
indirectly.
too.
Oh,
Right. It
oh,
wasn't my fault though. I told my cousin and then he told that cousin.
Oh
So, but
no.
everybody wanted to blame me. But anyway, that also caused a lot of
no,
friction.
Yeah,
no.
I had a few moments like that in my family too. I think the most dramatic Christmas I can ever remember having was when I was a kid. You probably can't see it because I have makeup on, but there's a scar right under my bottom lip. And that scar is the most dramatic Christmas I remember having. We were at my aunt's house, and my aunt, she had this huge linoleum floor back in, you know, before people could afford tile. Um, but she had this huge linoleum floor, and my brother and my cousins had this big sheet. And so they were playing a game where you would lay on the sheet and they would spin the sheet around. It was like a little merry-go-round.
Oh
And honey,
no.
I got on that sheet. That sheet went to spinning like a good washing machine. And I I fell. It like I flew off the sheet and landed on my lip. So my bottom teeth went through
Mm.
my lip. And I just remember my mom with me bloody in the sink yelling at my brother, what the hell is wrong with
Oh
you? Most
no.
dramatic Christmas I can definitely remember having was that.
Mm.
Oh no. I will definitely say from mine, I wasn't even a part of the drama. I just knew that some ish had went down. So I come from a family of predominantly women. Like my brother and I are kind of the only two male brothers in the family. So we were raised by my mom, my grandma, and my grandmother's sisters, which are my great aunts. And one year they wanted to go. It was originally from Philly, so they wanted to go to Ocean City, New Jersey.
I've been
Um,
there.
yeah, for the holiday, and we rented out the entire floor. The entire family went, all my cousins and whatnot. Now I was like 16 at the time, so going on a family trip, I'm not going to be with them. I'll grab my brother. We're gonna go to the heated pool and stuff like that. This is a vacation for us. If one thing Linda Gaffney taught us was how to vacation, so we were at the pool. And everything was kind of inside. So my mom didn't really have much to worry about, but I was pretty responsible at 15. Then I got older and it was like, oh. But so we're at the pool and I just hear someone yelling, like they're yelling from like their balcony. And I'm like, oop, the ghetto. And my brother and I are just laughing. So we get back to the room, come to find out it's my mom yelling at one of my aunts about something that happened or something that was said about a previous trip that they went on. I think it was like, oh, Tanisha, you drank too much on the last trip we was at. And my mom is very sensitive about it. She's like, I got kids. I don't drink too much. I got to make sure that my kids are okay. So we walked in on this drama of just like these women yelling at each other. And of course, I messed it all up. And I'm saying, well, is anyone drunk in the process of us having this conversation? Then all the aunts turned to me. And it was like, how dare that? And I'm just like,
stay out of grown folks'
okay.
business.
Right.
Stay out of
Right.
grown folks'
Okay.
business.
So me and my brother went back downstairs to the pool and they got over it.
Oh, see,
That's like, come on, they got over it.
See, I don't have any drama. Like I said, my family doesn't really celebrate things, so the holidays are kind of like cool, and then it's just a normal another day for us off. So I don't have any fun stories like that. But I'm always down to make some drama. Maybe this year, another text message, and we'll start drama.
Well, when you have your kids, Kai, you and Eric can show up to Christmas dinner and cause all the drama you want.
I already know. If my kids are mad, guess what? All your toys are taken away. Santa took
All
them back.
of them.
You want to cause drama? You can come to my house and bring a green bean casserole. That's gonna cause some drama if you
Hey, I like a green bean casserole.
I can do a green bean casserole,
With
but if
some
it's your
bacon.
main entree, I'm leaving.
Oh, no.
I'm going. Girl, I need a ham.
So we're gonna go ahead and take a break now. Thank you all for sharing your holiday Christmas experiences. I hope everyone enjoyed those, learned a little bit more about us on this holiday season. We're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
Hey guys, Ty here from APLA Health, and I got some good news for you.
APLA Health is launching our first ever at-home HIV testing initiative.
As we battle the global pandemic of COVID-19 and all that it entails,
APLA Health is doing what we can to fill the gaps for those who are in need of knowing their status, linking to care, and having safer sex options.
The initiative, officially known as Swab and Chill, will be our virtual hub for those seeking to take an HIV test, receive HIV kits, link into medical care for those who are HIV positive, while also having access to several other programs and services that specialize in harm reduction for HIV infection.
Such services include PrEP and PEP information, as well as substance abuse services. Our goal with Swab and Chill is to make HIV testing easily accessible and easy to use within the comfort of your own home.
We provide each client with the Aura Quick at-home testing kit. This kit is a simple test that is done by orally swabbing the gums and waiting 20 minutes for your results.
APLA staff is available to virtually assist you while taking the test, while providing resources and support for those who may test positive.
maybe you already know your status and you're just low on condoms and lube due to accessibility. No problem. We can also send you one of our safer sex kits right to your front door.
As we strive to keep our community safer and well-informed, your privacy is also a high priority.
All packaging will appear from APLA Health. Our over-the-phone assessments are quick, easy, and secure, so you can feel safe in sharing your results with us and asking any questions that you may have.
If you or someone that you know is interested in having one of our at-home testing kits mailed to you, or you just want more information on what Swab and Chill can provide, please call one of our team members at 323-329-9713, or just email us.
Come swab and chill with 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 us.
Come on, commercial break, and we are back. Thank you for joining us again on the link. Today is a special holiday edition for everyone. As you can see, we're in our onesies. I've got a Santa hat. Rogelio's got a bonnet on.
Oh.
Like,
I wasn't sure where you were going.
So today's topic is something that I think a lot of people in the queer community, the trans community, kind of have experienced around the holiday, whether it be yourself or someone else's, coming out to your family during the holiday season. We know we've seen the classic, we came out to our family, we bring our significant other during the holiday season. So we thought this would be a great time to kind of talk about this, talk about our experiences. Is coming out even necessary nowadays in the year of 2020, our Lord? Is that something that really needs to happen, or why should we do it? So first, let's start with, what do you all think? Personally, I think coming out for holidays is just such a bad thing. It's like you're taking over the holiday. You can cause so much drama. Like, don't make this about you. But that's just my thing. For some people, it's the only time.
I agree with you. I think that like the holidays, like I'm not even putting like significance on the holiday. So it's like, don't use the holiday to come out just because everybody is going to be there at one time. I think that people forget like that personal part of you is a privilege to know and get to learn about. And you don't necessarily have to feel obligated to sit around a table full of family members and friends and express why the person that you brought is of the same sex or of a different sex or whatever the case is. Nobody else's business. I would never, me personally, not shading anybody that came out during the holiday, I would never come out during the holidays because it's literally all eyes on you. Everybody else will put their faults to the side and sit there and judge what you got going on. And I've been paying my bills for a very long time. Love my family to death. But if you ain't paying the bill, don't tell me who to date.
Right. And what do you all think too about like bringing someone over? Like, how awkward is it if you didn't tell them, oh, I haven't told my family yet that I'm gay, but you're my partner. Let's go meet them together. Like, that's such a weird position. Like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like, I'm not
Well,
going.
if you're bringing someone on the day that you're coming out, 9 times out of 10, that person's already been around your family. I would hope that you're not bringing somebody brand new to the function and you're having your closet,
Yeah.
unveiling. I
Yeah.
personally think it's bad PR. I don't subscribe to holiday unveilings of the closet life, and stepping on
No.
out into the real world, because I feel like I said, it's one of those things where, number one, all the attention is going to be on you,
Mhm.
not only for that day, but for subsequent, Christmases after that, or holidays after that. Like, that's always going to be the thing that people talk about around the holidays, and at some point, you're going to get tired of it. In the
Mhm.
moment of coming out, though, it also opens you up to a lot of opinions that you probably didn't ask for or want, and it's probably going to linger much longer than you think it should. But I do understand why some people choose to do it that way, because for some people, they kind of live that where it's like, either I'm gonna do it all the way or I'm never gonna do it. And sometimes it's that big dramatic, reveal of coming out that really kind of pushes them to live their truth. So I
Mhm.
do understand it from that perspective too. But like I said,
Right.
it's not a PR move.
And there's also
I
the
wouldn't do
benefit
it.
of there's also the benefit of everybody finding out at the same time. So then you don't have to keep coming out to
Right.
people. But with me, I think that something like bringing a spouse to like a family function is something that wouldn't even cross my mind unless I was like getting married to somebody in the first place.
Yeah.
So like that isn't really an issue, but I think definitely like the first time I came out, when I came out at like 17 or no 18, it was like I was in college for like a semester. So it's like, well, now I kind of had to come out during winter break if I'm going to try to live my life like out and proud. Um, but I still like mindfully waited till after the holidays because it was like, well, like, I'll have to sit through the holidays with like these feelings going past, and like I'd much rather do it and then just get on a plane. Um, and then it's also, like I said, the only time I see my extended family. So it's like, why would I put myself through that? And like,
Now,
it's funny because
I
even
will say it would be wonderful. That would be an amazing exit strategy. Like, as you're
Yeah.
leaving the holiday function,
Mhm.
hey,
right,
everybody, okay, goodbye.
Absolutely. Headed to the
right.
airport. Bye.
And I've actually gotten like a pretty good response from my family. Like it's funny because since the holidays is the only time I see my extended family, for the past like 3 years, every time I show up, I have like one uncle and like one cousin by marriage who like always just end up getting super drunk and being like, we accept you. We don't have a problem with it.
Thanks.
It's like, honey, I came out like 5 years ago.
Thank
And now
you
I'm going through
so
my second
much.
coming out. So like, and now it's also like a second process I'm going through now because I'm consciously waiting through the holidays. I was going to do it earlier. But then cancer happened, and then my birthday happened, and then now the holidays. So I'm just like, well, I guess I'm going to come out in 2021. But all in
Mhm.
time. I think that coming out is something that's very, very individual, and especially for trans people, it's something that
Yeah.
can potentially put you in danger. So it's something that I really think people should only do if they feel like they're 100% safe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's a really good point. Like, if I can share my coming out story, I wrote a letter when I came out. I didn't say anything. I was like, look, I know my dad loves me. I know I love him. But if my dad took this the wrong way, we hear horror stories all the time. Of not even horror stories, real life people getting abused. My dad is a large fella, and I was scared, and that was it. So I wrote a letter. Um, went to
Come on,
school.
letter.
Oh yeah, I wrote a letter. I put it on his wallet, and I like drove off all day. Couldn't like even think about what was happening. It was my senior year. I don't know what happened in that day. And then I came home, and my dad was sitting in his like easy chair, like with the lights off, and I'm like, ooh, this is
Yeah, like this is not what I expected.
This is so similar to my story. I'm just like laughing.
it's just I was like, oh, and then my dad was like, so do you want to talk about this? And me at this point, feeling brave, like I was something special. I was like, I don't think there's anything to talk about. And
Ah.
Look at her.
I think one of the things that I
Better
really realized
stand in your stilettos, honey.
Right.
Okay.
But then I realized how lucky I was because, me and my dad, we talked through it that day. I mean, the next question my dad asked me if I was a catcher or a pitcher, and I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Gotta
I
love
was,
dads. I mean, you gotta love dads on some
but,
level.
Cannot.
Because,
Just depends on the day.
I just feel like when we talk about coming out, one of the things that I know that in some of the workshops that I've done and that I've been a part of, we talk about that idea of the pressure that's on the people receiving the news.
mhm.
Like we want to just kind of come out like this is what it is, but then no one gets to ask questions, no one gets to
Exactly.
say anything. We get
Right,
very
right.
defensive because it's a vulnerable moment, understandably.
Right.
And so to me, coming from a father, asking your son who came out to you in a letter if you're a catcher or a pitcher, because I'm sure he's a man of a particular age, so that to me is a little comical in this moment. It probably wasn't
Right.
comical then for you, but I understand the dadness of that question.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually
And your
regret
dad's a
coming out
medical professional,
I know.
so he was probably also asking for like
and
medical reasons. Like,
military.
okay, well, right,
Yeah.
if he's a pitcher, well, I gotta have this conversation.
No, but yeah, I was actually gonna say that like I actually regret coming out in a letter to some degree just because it's super hard for me to have those kind of hard conversations with my parents as it is. Even to this day, we still don't talk about it explicitly. And this is while I have, a whole other thing that I have to come out to them about. So I think that like I regret it only because I wasn't there to answer my mom's questions directly. And like I had to kind of leave that to my sisters who, they try, but they
Yeah.
don't understand everything and they're not going to be able to explain it the same way I would.
Yeah.
And so I regret definitely not coming out in person. And that's why like this time I want to do it differently. And I also am being mindful of the idea that like, when I came out the first time, it was very much like, well, I'm just going to live my life and I don't care. And if you have a problem with it, you're just closed-minded. But now I'm just like, okay, I do feel like I should be sympathetic to like, the idea that your parents' image of you is going to completely change, especially having come out already. My parents already had to deal with that. So it's kind of scary to feel like, well, they thought that this was it. And then
And
I'm
it's
just going to have to continue to either, disappoint them in my head or just like be another thing,
and it's an education piece too, to that point. Like, we are in positions with our family where if we're having this conversation, we've gotten comfortable enough to say it, and like Daniel said, the idea that no one can ask questions and all that other stuff is counterproductive because there are going to be a lot of questions. I remember coming out, I kind of made the priority my little brother. My little brother is everything to me. If you follow me on social media, you see my brother. We are the closest things in the world, like two peas in a pod. And my brother's opinion of me was the most important, not to negate my mom and my grandmother, but my brother's opinion was the most important. And I remember having a conversation with him. He was, I think, maybe 14 at the time. And I said, Teron, I was like, I think I'm gay, like gay. And I said it just like that. And he was like gay? And I was like, yeah, like gay. He's like no girls gay? I was like, yeah. He was like, wow, yeah, you should play on it. And I was like, you think so? He was like, nah, go live your life. And I was like, I remember sitting there and like crying. And he's like, wait, what are you crying for? Like rubbing my back. He's like, go live your life. He was like, I'm like, I just wanted you to know. And like, I didn't know how this was going to go, but I wanted you to like know and like be, I guess, kind of like at that moment, okay with it. He was like, no, he's rubbing my back. He's like, no, he's like, you're my brother. I love you to death. He's like, you can have sex with Barney the dinosaur for all I care. He's like, I don't have nothing against gay people. And his next question was, so I have a list of girls that I don't like. Does that mean that you can fight them? I said, that's not how that works. I was like, that's not. He gave me the list, but that's not how that works. So since then, my brother's always been like my biggest supporter. We've gone to gay clubs together. He's held my hand. Like we're like close. Like my brother and I are close. I don't know where I would be without him.
Yeah, I think
so sweet.
I don't ever know if I have a coming out like story of mine. Like I feel like my family always knew like I was a little feminine boy. They always was looking at me like, oh, he gonna be gay. I think for me, because in high school I was technically out to like everyone except my family officially. Like I hadn't said it out of my own mouth. But then I went through a period where I kind of, I guess you could say, jumped back in, where I went through this, like, there's a whole religious conversation for another day, but the whole, like, I'm no longer gay and I'm walking out of homosexuality. I think for me, my coming out is in my mind much more recent, and I would probably say about 2016, 3-4 years ago.
That is
Um,
recent. Wow.
because I am. It was at that point where I made the decision, like, to live my full truth. Like, I'm not gonna have to lie to this group of people versus that group of people. And I think the biggest thing for me in that time was the question that I asked myself about. I asked myself, what am I willing to lose to be who I am? And when I came up with the answer of absolutely everything, I was like, okay, well, this is the truth that I'm gonna live, regardless of who loves it or not.
Yeah. I think you make a really great point in that, Daniel, before we go to our next break, is that coming out is such a personal thing. And for some people, that is a serious question that they have to ask themselves is, what am I going to lose? And am I okay with losing that? And especially for queer people. And then when you throw in kind of like Rogelio was saying, also trans identity, having to do these multiple layers of coming out, it's really, there's a lot to take into consideration. I know we said early on, don't come out in the holidays. It's like bad PR, it's tacky, but honestly, if you time to do it. Really express yourself because you owe it to yourself, but also be mindful too. Don't go in my way and don't want to answer any questions. Just assume that people have the answer. I had the bad experience coming out. My dad handled it like a champ. But be ready for that too. And I think that's really, really important because remember, heteronormative people don't ever have to come out. That is not something they ever have to experience. So they're going to have questions. And I think for a lot of people, that's something that they don't think about. So that's where we'll leave for that one for today. We're going to take another quick break and then we're going to come back with some inquiries.
Hi, my name is Daryl, and I'm a him. And you'll probably click this video because you're wondering about the U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable. These two letters have changed the game for people living with HIV. Oftentimes, people have been afraid of disclosing their status, being intimate, or having been stigmatized for being positive. It's unfair. No one should feel uncomfortable about these things. That's where U equals U comes into play. If you are positive, have been virally suppressed for at least 6 months, and taking your medication, then guess what? The transmission is impossible. Yes, impossible. And if you don't believe me, you can ask the Center for Disease Control. They will back this up and have been since 2017 with hundreds of experts and organizations. Now, what does that mean to be virally suppressed? It means that you have 50 or less copies of the HIV virus per milliliter of blood. Now, I know it's hard to imagine, but that's a tiny amount. Taking your HIV medication daily, without fail, most people are able to become undetectable within 1 to 6 months. Now, we wish we could say everyone is able to reach U equals U status. But we know that sometimes it is harder for other people for different reasons. However, for the majority that do reach undetectable and continue to take their medication daily, there are no risks for transmission. Of course, we encourage safe sex practices because there are other STIs that can be transmitted, but HIV won't be one of them. If you have any other questions or concerns, you can contact us here. Thank you guys for watching.
And welcome back. Wonderful, wonderful commercial. So today for inquiries, our question we have is, if you could spend the holiday with any celebrity, and I know we hate them all, but if you could spend the holiday with any celebrity, who would it be and why? Daniel, you first.
Oh my gosh! Why?
Because you're the celebrity girl.
Question. If I had to spend it with someone that I did not want to sleep with, it would probably be Whoopi Goldberg. Someone that I did want to sleep with would definitely be Ryan Henry from Chicago Inc.
Come on now.
Okay.
What about you, Ty?
Okay, so 2 people. One, Rihanna, because she is everything to me. I think that her Christmas would be lit. It'd be like little island music. It'd be like party pictures going around. good catering, and I get to listen to R9 finally. And then the other person I would spend my holiday with would be Drake because we're in a committed relationship in my head. So I guess that kind of makes sense that I would spend Christmas with my bae, right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
yeah,
be
totally.
how it goes?
Yeah, that's how it works. That's definitely how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Rogelio?
Um, if I'm trying to have some good food, then I feel like I need somebody older, somebody more established, maybe like a Patti LaBelle. I feel like her
Yes.
Christmas has all the good food. And I also hear that Patty's just like super nice. I don't know actually, but still. So, so yeah,
Don't come to Patty. Hold on.
right, for food, Patti LaBelle. And for fun, I don't know. I guess I'd also probably have to go with Rihanna because she seems like, you could get your dose of Caribbean food, but you could also get like a rolled blunt with like some diamond crystals in it. Like, and that's the kind of Christmas I feel like I want.
She rolls diamonds.
Right.
Be careful what those diamond crystals are.
With some gold paper.
Right.
Yeah.
Land up and get a primo and be like, "Ooh, what kind of weed is this?"
I feel so unoriginal because my answer already was Rihanna. I was like, obviously it's Rihanna. But if I think like who else I would want to, then I would think the other person or other celebrity that I would want to spend Christmas with is the Queen of Christmas herself, Mariah. I want to know, is she really about Christmas the way she says? I mean, she puts out, oh, I was going to talk bad about her, and I know the lambs are going to come for me. So she might put out the same Christmas album every other year. But if she's putting all this holiday things out, like, is she big on Christmas? So I want to see what that is. I mean, I love Mariah too. So
I love her. I almost want to take it back and say Mariah instead of Rihanna, but
How dare you?
I love Mariah. I'm sorry.
I'll be at Whoopi Ryan's house playing Mariah on the radio.
So another question that we have for inquiry is, if you could wish for one gift, one perfect gift for you for this year, what would it be and why?
A man, but no. That's all I can think about.
The real tea, sis. That's real tea.
For me, I want someone to buy me a handyman. Like, I don't need anything physical. I need someone to come into my house, COVID safety after COVID. I need some shelves hung up. I need some curtains hung up. I need some plants hung up.
Let's go. Yes.
Done. Like, give me, love language, acts of service. Get someone to do some services around my house. That's what I want. That'd be the perfect.
Yeah.
So, Eric, if you're watching, get that. Obviously, COVID safety, but that's for me. That would be my perfect holiday gift because we got so many shelves we need.
That is fair. I think for me, usually Miss America would say, I would just want COVID to be away. I actually would love a pair of rollerblades. I've been watching a lot of TikTok videos and these queens out here skating to this music, and it just looks so smooth and so sexy. And by the time summertime comes around, I want to be making those videos too. So definitely a pair of rollerblades and my short shorts and a tank top.
Boom boom shorts, living your summer walker fantasy.
Absolutely, thighs popping.
One thing I would want for Christmas, unrealistically, would be a lifetime of free travel anywhere in the world that I wanted to go.
Yes.
COVID aside.
Yes.
Because I think that is just, not only would it be a fun thing to do, but I also think it is important for us to be as cultured as we possibly can. Because I can't stand people who defend America and they never left it. But that's another no. Realistically, I would love to have a complete wardrobe overhaul and be able to go and literally redo my entire wardrobe.
Yeah, you literally stole my answer because I was going to say the same thing, especially like.
But a man was definitely in my head, Rogelio. So when you said it, you were speaking my heart.
We're just on the same wavelength.
But my man, my meant to be with man. I want him for Christmas.
You gotta
exactly,
be specific.
But like I've just like been slowly like replacing my wardrobe, and it just feels too slow because every time you order something online, it's like, well, what if only 4 out of 5 of these things fit? And what if only 2 out of those, 4 look
Mhm.
cute? So like it's, been a journey trying to get all my clothes replaced, and, having a nice little gift card or something would, go a long way.
Or a
Money's
black card.
If you have not heard of Prime Wardrobe, you might want to look on Prime Wardrobe
Mhm.
because Prime Wardrobe allows you to try things on for 7 days
Mhm.
and you only pay for what you keep. That is a shameless plug. Amazon is not
Right.
paying us. But
And
if you
it's
want to
I
addictive
know
sponsor,
because
returns give me stress. Returns stress
yeah,
me out. I'm
it's
always just
addictive.
like,
I usually keep everything that they send, so it's a really good
well,
service.
because you
I
could
do.
probably
I keep
fit
it.
everything that they send.
Every single thing that they send, no matter
right.
if I gotta stuff myself into it or not.
Oh Lord. Well, everyone,
No, I got too
that's
much stuffing.
that is our show for today. Before we go, I just want to say I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe holiday. Don't forget, just because the holidays are happening, COVID did not go away. So please, please, please stay with the people in your household. Wear face masks if you are out in public. But stay home. Just stay home and
Yeah.
enjoy the holiday. Relax. So thank you all so much. Does any you guys have parting words that you want to say?
Definitely happy holidays. If you are spending the holiday by yourself, definitely Zoom some of your friends. Check out some of our previous link episodes. They're sure to keep you laughing. And we will see you after the holiday. I'm excited for that.
Yay.
I'm going to leave you with this. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. That's an all year round type thing, but make sure that you are definitely protecting your space and your energy this holiday season.
Yes. Definitely come out when you're feeling safe, when you're feeling ready, and make sure to insulate yourself during the holiday season, not only literally because it's cold, but, figuratively from, all the emotions that it may bring up for you.
Yeah, and if you want to come out to your family during the holidays, do it. Don't let us tell you not to do it.
And then come on the show and tell us how it went.
That's how it went.
With all the
So,
questions that they ask.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So everyone have a wonderful and safe holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. We will see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.